Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Woke up this morning with my mind made up on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind made up on love. Woke up this morning with my mind made up on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm singing and dancing with my mind made up on spirit. I'm singing and dancing with my mind made up on love. Singing and dancing with my mind made up on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm living my life with my mind made up on spirit. I'm living my life with my mind, yeah, made up on love. Living my life with my mind made up on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Woo! This little light of mine, ooh, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Woke up this morning with my mind, yeah, made up on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind, yeah, made up on love. I woke up this morning with my mind made up on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Give it up for Aiden Farrell and the band. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Divine Feminine Wisdom Day. And good morning to everybody online on Facebook Live, or if you're watching in the archives later on this week. And thank you for making it here. Crazy traffic this morning. Okay, the marathon was last week, I thought. There is another one today. Every weekend for the next 2 years. In the summer, we have road closures in the summer and ice in the winter. Just saying. Oh, yes, but you are here. You are here. Welcome to your spiritual home. And we are a spiritual community. There we go. Our theme for 2019 is uplifting service, taking action with love for a better future. Our purpose is to be an intentional spiritual community, a hub for living well. And we are a place for you to explore your spirituality. We are a place for you to be seen unconditionally and loved and accepted for who you are. That's what community is all about, yes? Yes, and we need that heart connection, especially in this day and age. We celebrate community, connection, happiness, wellness, and inspiration. And we embody the understanding of our oneness with all life. And we consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives with the understanding that to learn how to think is to learn how to live. And our vision statement is, and we can say it out loud together, love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Yes, and we also acknowledge that we have the honor of having this center situated upon the spiritual territories of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Anishinaabe Nation, and the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation. We also recognize and honor the spiritual mystics and masters that have walked this earth plane and left their imprint, their learning for us to grow and expand our own consciousness with. So, with that, I say welcome to your spiritual home. And is there anyone here for the first time? One person, sort of. We're going to hand you a welcome package, and thank you for being here today. And Nick, you've got that welcome package? Yeah, right here. There you go. Thank you. And I invite you to now just to settle in. Settle in for our invocation song. It's a beautiful, beautiful prayer. And I'll let you take it away there, Aiden.
Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is doubt, let me bring faith. Where there is falsehood, let there be truth. Where there is pain, I'll comfort you. Where there is silence, let me bring praise. Where there is despair, let me bring hope. Where there is blindness, let me bring sight. Where there is darkness, let me bring light. And with these words I speak, I grant that I may not seek to be heard, but to be heard, to be consoled, but to console, not to be seen, but to see, to be loved, and be loved. Where there we give love, we will receive. When we forgive love, we'll
in the recognition that we are all instruments of peace, I invite you right now to take a breath in, breathing in love, exhaling peace. Another breath, breathing in the love, exhaling peace. Dropping down into our heart that is calling out for the recognition that we are one. We are one with all humanity. That as we hear the children, we can recognize that oneness, that lightness, that presence of the childlike wonder that lives in our heart. For I know there is only one mind, which is the mind of universal consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the divine masculine and feminine, love and law, blending together in harmonious creation. Yes, this masculine and feminine consciousness of all life that creates a divine pattern for humanity. And within this pattern, there is infinite harmony, peace, unity, and the recognition of the divine God self in each one of us. I know that the mind of humankind is one with the mind of God. And with this oneness, this unification, this understanding that we are this divine mind, we shall discover the way and the means to allow this flow of divine love between us and all people, all nations. For the divine pattern of perfect peace, love, and harmony, the divine pattern of joy and celebration is reflected in each person I see, reflected in their own unique way, yet still recognizing the one. The flow of nature knows no limitations. The sun, the earth, the water, the fire, the elements of Mother Earth, the divine feminine within all of us, the Creator, fully actualized and present in this moment. So again, breathing into the love, exhaling peace, and recognizing the oneness, the grace, the beauty, the God in each one of us. And so it is. So allow yourself to take another breath in. And we have a new community song today, written by Aiden. And this song celebrates the elements of the earth. And I believe it is a call and response, yes? Yeah. Yes, so you have the words up here and you have the words in your program. So I invite you to stand up.
Also in the program, the very last line, let your love fly like a bird on the wing. That was from last week, so just don't sing that part.
Just read the words like that.
Yeah, so I'll sing a verse and then I'll repeat the verse and we can all sing together. So, yeah, okay. Oh, Oh, water, may you flow o'er my body and through my soul. Purify and make me whole. Oh, water, may you flow. Everybody. Oh, water, may you flow over my body and through my soul. Purify and make me whole. Oh, water, may you flow. Oh, air, may you move my soul to where it can be renewed. Breathe my words and make them true. Oh, air, may you move. Oh, air, may you move my soul to where it can be renewed. Breathe my words and make them true. Oh, air, may you move. Oh, fire, may you burn my fears away. Oh, may you turn my greatest mistakes into lessons learned. Oh, fire, may you burn. Everybody. Oh, fire, may you burn my fears away. Oh, may you turn my greatest mistakes into lessons learned. Oh, fire, may you burn. Oh, earth, may you live my insecurities, may you rid, may you take and may you give. Oh, earth, may you live. Oh, earth, may you live my insecurities, may you rid, may you take and may you give. Oh, earth, may you live. Oh, Spirit, may you be in the earth, the air, the fire, and the sea, through the universe and then through me. Oh, Spirit, may you be. Oh, Spirit, may you be in the earth, the air, the fire, and the sea, through the universe and then through me. Oh, Spirit, may you be. Oh, Spirit, may you be. Oh, Spirit, may you be. Oh, Spirit, may you be.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you. So, it says in your programs that Fred is our lead practitioner today. And Fred has decided to step into his pure divine feminine consciousness and show up as Judy. So here is the incarnate of Fred for our practitioner of the day.
This is completely impromptu, and I'm not an impromptu person, but maybe I am. Maybe the earth is ridding me of my insecurities. So, we are talking about seeing ourselves in others. That's our theme this month. And a story in the news got my attention. Did you hear the wow that went around the world? this week? Did you hear about it? Did you see it on YouTube or Facebook? Anybody see it? No. Well, the Boston Symphony. Good, I'm glad you didn't. It makes my story work better. This impromptu story. The Boston Symphony was playing, I don't know who the composer was. It was Handel. And it wasn't anything big and, like Handel's Messiah, or it wasn't the Beethoven's Fifth Symphony or the War of 1812 Overture. It was something more somber. And in the audience was a little 9-year-old boy on the autism spectrum. And he was there with his grandfather. And when the music was over, and you can see this on Facebook if you Google the wow that was heard around the world. When it was over, he said, everything was quiet, and he said, wow. And everybody in the audience chuckled. And when I heard this, I was driving my car, I just bawled my eyes out. Now, what is it that makes us feel when something like this happens? It's our connection. It's seeing ourselves in others. And when I saw it, I went home and I saw it on Google or YouTube, whatever, and I was just bawling my eyes out. Everybody in the world, or many people in the world, heard this sound, this wow, went around the world. What a connection that was for humanity to hear this little boy. And so the upshot of it was the conductor, who was from England, he went back home, and he found out, nobody knew who this person was, actually. But I guess the family had seen this in the news, and they came forward and said it was, I don't even know his name, actually. I think it's Stephen, I'm not sure. I think it is Stephen. And the conductor contacted the family, and they're giving him free tickets to come and hear the symphony again. This little boy is so attuned to music. That's how important music is to us. It touches us, and it touched him. He was super sensitive to this music, and it wasn't even something with bells and whistles. So I'm so touched by that story, by our humanness, and by the whole world hearing this wow and responding to it. Isn't that wonderful? That this little boy on the autism spectrum, he was just so sensitive to the beauty of the music. And so that's why I love our music program, because music is so special. That's my short story, my impromptu story for today. I was saving it for a talk, but it was needed today. Thank you, Fred. And so we have our affirmation. I'll say it once. I see the beauty that abounds in nature as a reflection of my true essence. Let's say it together. I see the beauty that abounds in nature as a reflection of my true essence. So I invite everyone to just be still, relax, take a breath. For I know there is one beautiful, loving, divine energy that I call God, the divine living spirit, that dwells within each of us equally. And I know that this presence it contains all knowledge. It is ever so powerful. It is the greatest power ever. And it dwells within each of us. And knowing this, I know that we are so connected to each other. We're connected to everyone around the world, and everyone belongs to everyone. Everyone belongs to us. We are truly one. Let's see ourselves in everyone. Let's see ourselves in that little boy who was so wowed by the beautiful music. And so knowing our connection, knowing our oneness, and knowing that we see ourselves in others. Everything within us, everything that we see in others exists within us, in our consciousness. And so knowing this truth, I am so grateful for this beautiful connection of humanity, this beautiful Center for Spiritual Living Toronto, this community. I am so grateful. I release these words to the law. I let it all go. I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is.
I love that story. I have to go look it up now. Thank you, Judy. So there is a theme going on around our oneness, and what is reflected in others is a reflection of us, and what we see in others, the good, the bad, the ugly, if you want to judge it, but I wouldn't bother because it's all one thing anyways. And so with this next song, it's a song by India Arie called One. And again, really threading through, weaving through this idea that is becoming a well-known, well-ingrained, embodied consciousness throughout the world that we are all one, we are all divine, we are all God. And so, take it away, Aidan.
Billions live their lives. No Muhammad, Krishna, or Buddha are the way. And still some say it's right to say the name of Jesus when you pray. We are a humankind of 7 billion. So many different races and religions, and it all comes down to one. Some say God's a him, still others believe that he is a her. His God lives in our hearts, or is she out there somewhere in the universe? We are a humankind of 7 billion. So many different races and religions, and it all comes down to one. How far will we have to go before we learn the lesson? That Gandhi was a Hindu, Martin Luther King a Christian. Regardless of religion, they all knew that love was the mission. And it all comes down to one. Is there no God at all? Or a pantheon of gods in the sky who can heal our broken hearts if we give up the desire to be right? We are a humankind of 7 billion. So many different races and religions, and we all want the same things: health, love, and peace. Tolerance is the seed, and the gift of your acceptance is the tree. We are a humankind of 7 billion, so many different races and religions, and it all comes down to one.
Brian, thank you. Thank you. Oh, we can heal our broken hearts if we're willing to give up our rightness. If we're willing to give up our rightness about our wrongness. The wrongness of believing that somehow we are flawed, that we are broken, that there is something that needs to be healed within us. No, we are perfect, whole, and complete if we would only start to embody that, live from that place, and open our hearts, get out of our heads. Although you have to think right to get out of your head. Just saying. And live from your heart. Live from your heart. So I finally, last Sunday, after watching the Barbara Marx Hubbard film here upstairs, which was stunning, we were like oohing and awing throughout the entire film. It's like, oh, she said this. Oh, that's so good. Oh, wow, that's so profound. She is the divine mother of consciousness who has left this earth plane, but her message, her words, her legacy live on. And what a treat that was. And then I went to my last Hot Docs, not hot dogs, Hot Docs film. So I saw 14 films in 10 days. Yeah. And the last one was the biggest bummer of all. It really was. It was Hello AI. It was all about artificial intelligence. It was really poorly done and unfortunately had no heart connection, and I thought I was going to have nightmares. But there was a film that was rather interesting called CRISPR. And I'm just going to mention it a little bit here. And CRISPR is the CAS9 gene editing program, and how you can edit your DNA by taking this CRISPR and merging it with RNA and replacing the damaged, I put in quotations, DNA with this CRISPR, which has incredible implications in the world in terms of relieving pain for people dying of cancer. You can just take out that pain gene and replace it with the CRISPR. Or sickle cell anemia and other diseases. It also has implications around creating the perfect baby. So there's, it's a really interesting dilemma, and one that has huge ethical implications. But what was interesting is that it was produced by Dan Rather. You know who Dan Rather is, right? The famous journalist. He's now retired. He produced this film. And when he asked why he produced the film, he said, I've been blessed to be able to report the news on many factors, and many different levels. But he said, there is a revolution happening, and the thing with revolutions is that people don't realize the revolution is happening until it's already happened. And I loved that. I went, oh, so he thought he'd get on the bandwagon here to let people know about the next revolution in genetics and science. And of course, there's a revolution of science and spirituality. And science really, what's the word I'm looking for? supporting spirituality. It wasn't quite the word I was looking for, but I got it. Hopefully you got it too. And so now what we are experiencing is a conscious revolution that has already happened. And if you don't realize that the conscious revolution has happened, then you're one of those people that is hanging on to what was, hoping that things will go back to the normal way of being. But they're not going to go back to the normal way of being ever, because there is never no normal anymore. Life is changing so quickly. And so we're experiencing this incredible emergence of the feminine wisdom, which must start to come into place. It can't be just the masculine wisdom of, I'm going to go to war and beat you and fight you. This is all changing in the world. And there's this perfect synthesizing of masculine and feminine. It's not one or the other. It's masculine and feminine. It is love, which is, believe it or not, the masculine, and the law, which is feminine. Love points the way. Our conscious use of love points the way. But it is the divine feminine, the law, that makes the way possible. And this emergence of the feminine wisdom and consciousness is what is going to save our planet. So, in recognizing that we are all blends of this masculine and feminine energy, I decided last night, as I got a little sentimental, it's Mother's Day today, and I'm a mother, and I had a mother, and you all had a mother, so you can all celebrate your mom. And I had put together a collage of photos for the very first project I ever did when I took my first Science of Mind 100 class here. And so this is what my project was. It is a collage of my mother, myself, and my daughter. And we're all at different ages, and I know it's a little bit hard to see, but there's a baby picture of my mom, and one of her is a young girl, and then, standing by an airplane and riding a horse, and that's me, who was the Highland dancer, and then Mahala playing the violin. And it was a really wonderful way to go back and celebrate the lineage of divine feminine wisdom in my family. And each one of us can do this, of celebrating that feminine wisdom in our family lineage, and then start to take a look at, and now look at where I am. Where am I in my own consciousness, my own evolution as a spiritual being? Because we are all spiritual beings, living actually in a spiritual universe. We're not just living in a human universe or an earthly universe. We're living in a spiritual universe. And each one of us is governed by our own choice and our own use of the law of cause and effect. So now, there's something different that's happening in the world. Because when I was growing up, my mom used to say, "Jack of all trades, master of none." Anybody else ever hear that? That's an old saying. Jack of all trades, master of none. And of course, my mom was a master at her profession. She was a master. But now, that doesn't work in this day and age. We need to know about so much in our life. We need to know what's happening because there's a new normal that's emerging. And it's not enough just to know a lot about one thing. You got to know a lot about a whole lot of different things. All the different technologies, all the different ways of getting food, all the different ways of practicing spirituality. There's not just one way. Because we live in a new normal, and that new normal is change. And the change is going to keep changing and keep changing and keep changing. So let me ask you this. How many of you put your lives on hold, waiting for the world to go back to the way it was, hoping it's going to go back to the way it was? It's not. It's not. And I'll have you go to the next slide there, Kim. There is a conscious revolution that has happened. And how interesting that love spelled backwards is in revolution. You see, spirituality is the new normal. And if we do not have that consciousness that we are spiritual beings, we are going to deprive ourselves of something that we dearly need in this world of change. And that is resilience. And I talk a lot about resilience and creating a field of coherence, but I'm going to, in a few minutes, give a different definition of resilience from what we normally talked about. First of all, I want to give you a quote by Barbara Marx Hubbard. There has always been a longing in the human heart for a more just, free, loving, and creative society. But it was never possible to fulfill these aspirations because we had neither the evolutionary drivers and global crises to force us to change, nor did we have the scientific and technological powers that can free us from the limitations of scarcity, poverty, disease, and ignorance. It is the time of awakening. Now, she wrote that a number of years back. The time of awakening has happened. And we have the potential, the possibility through science, through technology, through our own understanding and our own consciousness to solve the world's problems. Not enough food is not a problem because there's not enough food in the world. It is a problem with our thinking. It is a problem that we hoard. It is a problem we think. Every time we think there is not enough, we are affecting somebody else in the world who does not have enough. Every time we think of lack and limitation, we are affecting people across the world that are living in lack and limitation. We are contributing to a consciousness of lack and limitation, which is why we say to learn how to think is to learn how to live. And I would take it even one step further. To learn how to think is to learn how to thrive. Because we need to go beyond survival and into thriving. We know how to restore land that is completely decimated. There's a whole holistic program on how to restore grasslands. It's being used in Africa, that is used with herds to bring back the grasslands. And when I saw this TED Talk, I went, oh my goodness, that is the same holistic farming procedure that my father was using on his ranch, of having cattle graze for so long, only eat so much of the grass, they'd move them every day, but all the manure and pee, the poo and the pee would become manure. I'm saying poo and pee up here. But what it does is it fertilizes the land and it has a chance to grow back, and everything stays in harmony with nature. Our divine nature, our God essence is in harmony with nature. But are you living in harmony with nature? So we have to start thinking differently than we have in the past. And if we don't, we won't be able to build up resilience. In the past, and from my heart math training, resilience was that ability to bounce back in the face of adversity. which, you see little kids and, oh, they can do it so easily because they have so much heart rate variability and so much resilience. But as we age, our resilience decreases. And yet it is the most important thing that we need to be increasing by being connected into our heart space and by embodying the truth of who we are, by really knowing who we are. So I am going to give you Greg Braden's new definition of resilience. Ready? The ability to think and live every day in a way that allows us to thrive in the conditions now. I'm going to say it again. The ability to think and live every day in a way that allows us to thrive in the conditions of now. To thrive no matter what's happening. Imagine that. Can you imagine that? No matter what's going on. Thank you, Peter. I love you. One person puts up his hand. One of you can imagine. Thank you, Wim. I am so glad you're back as well. So it's changing our thinking from separation to unification in everything that we do, to become holistic, to think holistically, to think not from our ego edging God out, but from spiritual truth, from knowing who we are. And we cannot separate ourselves externally or internally. We no longer separate spirituality from who we are. Oh, it's this thing out here. No, it is who I am. It is what I am. I am divine spirit. I am God. Oh my gosh, the number of people, I don't know if any of you are watching the Hay House series that's on right now, the number of people that are saying I am God from that platform, the number of scientists who are starting to say it. We need to start recognizing who we are, that we're not separate, that we have this vast resource within our mind that we tap into that will allow us to thrive in the conditions of now, the conditions of the future. And we have no idea what those conditions will be, unless any of you have a crystal ball. So, one more quote from Barbara Marx Hubbard. The path of the co-creator is to be awakened spiritually within, which then turns into your own deeper life purpose, which then makes you want to reach out and touch others. I think that's a song. In a way that expresses self and really evolves our communities and our world. Certainly, we can't do that unless we activate ourselves first. Are you ready to activate yourself? Because the revolution has happened. And if you're hanging on back here, you're going to get left behind. You can catch up and you can be in it and live it and thrive in it. Thrive in that revolution, because it's love. It is pure divine love, which is who we are. So, here is the number one question to ask yourself. And I want you to ask this of yourself every day this week. Who am I? Who am I? So close your eyes for a minute. Close your eyes. Go into your heart space. Ask yourself, who am I? I am. I am that I am. I am love. I am life. I am light. I am power. I am peace. I am beauty. I am joy. I am wisdom. I am God. Those are all the qualities of God. This is who and what I am. And so, can you own that by saying out loud, I am. I am. And then breathe it in, embody it. And keep asking yourself that question all week long. Who am I? Who am I? I am. And let yourself embody those qualities of the divine that is everywhere present. For there is only one thing, and that is love. That is the divine creative energy of all life, this energy of love, this cosmic consciousness, this oneness. And what I recognize right here, right now is I am. I am it. I recognize this in each and every person I see in this room, each and every person that watches online, each and every person I meet this week. For there is only this divine sacred love. It is truly, truly sacred, creative, expressive, and infinite potentiality. And I allow this beautiful sacred love to move out through every cell, every fiber, every pore of my body to create the resiliency of knowing that I thrive in all the changes that are happening now and forevermore. And with that, I release my word as law, knowing this is all set into motion now. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste. Now, oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited. Just before you guys start, we have a very special guest with us today who has an announcement to make. We have Reverend Sonia Byrne, who is with us, who is embarking on an incredible journey, talking about, a conscious revolution. It happened. It happened in the most amazing way. So I am going to pass the mic over to Reverend Sonia, and she can let you know about her journey, of which I'm so proud. I'm so excited. Yes.
Thank you. Well, hello, everyone, and hello online. I'm Reverend Sonia Byrne, and apparently that's enough in this room. Thank you. I feel very supported. So I came into the building today with my good friend Sharon Thompson, and at a New Year's burning bowl ceremony in 2011, when we couldn't get to New York City to celebrate my 40th birthday, we decided to come here. I'd been creeping you folks for a bunch of years online, and I said to Sharon, I don't know how weird those people are, so would you come with me when I do decide to go? So she came with me to this burning bowl ceremony here in 2011 for the New Year's ceremony. And I immediately went from being an attendee and a first-time attendee to a member, to a board member, to I wanted to be a practitioner, and then I wanted to be a minister. And I paneled and graduated as a minister in 2018. And all the while, there was a burning desire in me to be part of the conscious revolution in the biggest way that I could in my life. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought of somebody and then they call you, like right then on your phone? Have you ever thought of a song and it goes on the radio in your car and you're like, woo, I am powerful. I am connected. I feel like this has happened for me in the biggest way possible. Because all the while during that time of being a student in this philosophy and being a member of the Centers for Spiritual Living organization, I said things like consciousness, conscious leadership, spirituality, business. If we create a word wall or a word art, you know, those word arts with all the different words and a theme. And if I watched what I said and knowing that what we say and what we think is what shows up in our life, then I'm not surprised that after 437 individual incidents with no coincidence, that very recently I was offered the role of your next executive director for Centers for Spiritual Living globally. So I have some wonderfully supportive people in my life, in addition to the folks in this room and online, who mostly said to me, well, you have to be careful what you wish for then, right? Such wonderful advice. So if I take the careful out, you have to be clear what you ask for. You have to be consistent in what you ask for. And you have to accept the stuff that doesn't work out along the way is an absolute divine process. Or process if you're in Canada. I'm learning to be bilingual because I'll be based out of Golden, Colorado, where our home office is. I head to Denver tonight to be there for 2 weeks of meetings. I'm in my relocation process. And over the next 60 to 90 days, I will be moving into that role. The current retiring executive director, Steve Burton, and his team have done a fantastic job. He's been with the organization for over 10 years. And he has really set me up for success. I get to be with him for the next 2 to 3 months while I am in the process of moving towards being in Golden, Colorado to be at the home office. And just a little bit about our organization, if you are unfamiliar with it. You are part of a conscious revolution, no doubt. Let me tell you how big and special and magic and important you are in the world. This is one of 400 communities and ministries that the Centers for Spiritual Living has worldwide. If you go on to rcsl.org, there's now a global map. And you can click on and you can see where we are all around the world. We have over 1,100 active ministers, such as myself, who are doing their work in their way out in the world. I get to be part of a leadership team with Dr. Ken Gordon from Kelowna, who is your spiritual leader, and Dr. Sharon Hudson from California, who is your field leader. And the three of us together will work with the wonderful foundation that has been created through the good work of everyone who has come before us. I am so excited, and I am so happy that it all started here. And thank you for your support so far and your support ongoing. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh, the Canadians. The Canadians are coming. Oh, yes. And can I say about Steph? Oh, she is. Good for her. Today. So Stephanie St. Armand, who is a minister with her partner in the Kootenays, is now candidating in Redlands, California, is the vice chair of the Centers for Spiritual Living on the leadership committee, and she will be taking over as vice president of the chair of the committee. Candidating for chair. So that would be like, It does sound like a done deal. It is. It's done in my mind. So that means there's like 3 Canadians in leadership roles with this organization, which is also really phenomenal. So congratulations, Sonia. I'm so excited for what's to come with this organization. Fantastic. And so with that, I'm going to invite you all to stand up. We're going to sing Circulate as the baskets go around. And please take your donation out if you have a donation or your card for the center today, and bless it. And we'll sing Circulate. Right. Okay.
One, you ready? One, two, three, 4. Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love. 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 And it returns to me. Everybody clap. Multiplied abundantly. Oh, circulate my joy right now. Circulate my joy. 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 And it returns to me. Multiplied abundantly. Circulation across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond.
That's me. Oh, in this moment, I give such great thanks for each and every person here today. I give thanks for all that we have received. I give thanks for the conscious revolution that is well underway, and the changes that are to come on so many levels, starting with us. And so with that, I say thank you. I release my word. All is in divine order. All is well. And together we say, and so it is.
Circulate my gift right now. Circulate my gift. 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 And it returns to me. Multiplied abundantly. And it returns to me. Multiplied abundantly. Oh, oh.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so just a couple of quick announcements. We have our auction going on. Our auction is doing phenomenally well. Woo! Woohoo! So these beautiful paintings that are hanging up, don't they look lovely on the walls? They do. They look so beautiful. They're part of the auction. But if you don't want to hang them in your home, but you still want them, you can always just leave them here, because I'm really happy to take them. And just a couple of little things that are also in the auction. These are very popular, and they're made by Lori Leckwold. So the little hippo and the teddy bear, and lots of great stuff in the auction. So please go online, check it out. It's in our newsletter. It's on our website. So have at it. Bidding is for another week, so keep going, keep going. It's our big fundraiser of the year. And then also we have something I just want to let you know about is in your inbox. It's gone out at noon, and we have hard copies on the table, is a survey. We want to hear from you. What do you like? What do you want? So please take the time to answer the survey or take a hard copy, fill it out, hand it into the Live Well store, and we'll collect all that data because we're going to have a strategic planning meeting on Saturday, June 1st, and we would like your voice to be heard. And then also we have our community focus for May and June. Again, recycle, reduce, reuse, refinish, resell, compost, all the different ways that you can support the environment. Be conscious. There was a notice that went out in a newsletter about all the different ways that you can help support the environment. And then on Sunday, June 2nd, from 1 to 3 is lake cleanup at Woodbine Beach. So we'll have some lunch here and then go to the beach and clean it up and do our bit. And then the last thing is we have our Guess Who's Coming to Dinner on Friday, June 7th. There is a sign-up sheet out on the table. It's in amongst all the other stuff that there, in case you didn't notice, there was places a little turned upside down today because we've had a theater production in here. So on the table is also that sign-up sheet. You can sign up to either host or to attend, and then we'll contact you. The cost for that is $30 if you are attending, and that part of that goes to the hosts as well to help pay for dinner. And I think that's it. The Live Well store has lots of great products to support the environment, so you can check that out. And then a big thank you, and that is thank you to Aiden, the band, Julian, Ashwin, Rustin, and Brian, Kim on camera, Cohen on sound, our Sacred Service team, Ken, Tasha, Margaret Ann, Sandra, and Lori. The kids program, we had kids today, yay! Thank you for bringing your kids. So thank you to Mahala and Carrie. If you have kids, if you're online watching and you have kids, or just grab a kid on a Sunday morning and haul them in here. No, I don't want any Amber Alerts, thank you. But if you know of kids who just would do so well, and can you imagine if you had learned all of this growing up? Yes, yes. So bring your kids second Sunday of every month. And then thank you, Judy, for your beautiful meditation along with Julian. That was stunning. And thank you for incarnating Fred this morning. And our community practitioner today is Nick. So if you would like affirmative prayer, you can go see Nick in the back room. That is it. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to everybody online. Yes, after we will have coffee and cake with Sonia. Yes, after service today. So stick around for some fellowship. And our song to take us out is Best Day of My Life. So stand up and let's sing out.
I had a dream so big and loud. I jumped so high I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Hand in hand into the sky, we dance with monsters through the night. Oh, 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 oh. Never gonna look back. Whoa, never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. I howled at the moon with friends, and then the And at the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Never gonna look back, never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. I hear it calling outside my window. I feel it in my soul. Stars, they were burning so. Sun was out till midnight. I say lose control. Woo, woo. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Woo, woo. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Yeah. Ooh. This is gonna be the best day of my life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Have a great week, everybody.